Gallo, did you pay your proper respects to Scott Shannon this morning? All right, good. Just making sure.
Is it congratulations or is we're sorry to see you go?
It's a congratulations, I think.
Turn on his mic, Ed.
Yeah, I think it's a congratulations.
What is that, Scott? Would you want congratulations or...
You know what? As long as you don't say you suck.
No, you don't.
I'm good.
Who would say that? Who would have to say that? We're not going to never say that.
You listen to your two clowns in the morning. I listen to them every day. I coming in, and they go, some days they don't suck.
Oh, okay.
And some days even both of them are here.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I know. We had a couple of days this week where Jerry was out. So, I mean, it changes the whole tenor of the warm-up show. You don't like the fill-ins, right? The fill-ins when the fill-ins are in.
What's that little kid's name?
Chris Lepresti.
Is he here?
No, not here today.
The little guy? No, the little
I'm at a
guy's
disadvantage. I don't know what anybody looks like. I know you two.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, CeeLo, that little kid, he's made it, though. He's precocious. He's 17.
Which one is he?
He's not here right now. He's very small.
We have another guy in the afternoon, Evan. He's a little guy, too.
He's also very...
You know what?
Yes.
I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
I've always liked Evan. But when I see him somewhere out in I do like a golf tournament or something.
Yeah.
He's got that little crappy looking booth you got out there, and he's sitting there talking.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I want to go meet him. He doesn't ever look at me.
Really?
That guy's never spoken to me.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
He's socially awkward.
He's socially awkward. He doesn't like to get involved with people.
Yeah, I figured that. He is a little awkward.
Now, the first interaction you and I had, I'll probably remember more than you would because I've had fewer interactions with
I remember you.
legends than you have. So I get into it was right after Mike and I got into this, Francesa got into this battle back and forth, and it ended up on the back page of the New York Post.
Yeah.
And I walked in, we were in the elevator together, and I said, good morning. I said, good morning, Mr. Shannon. How are you? And you looked at me and said, way to nail his fat ass to the wall. I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. That was a crowning achievement.
Oh, my God. And I tell you what, you do a better him than he does.
Yeah, it took a while. Yeah, definitely. But I appreciate that. So,
I think my favorite bit, though, is when you did Mad Dog telling you how to get home and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I watched that 10 times.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Did you ever spend any time with him, Dog?
Yeah. Well, we lived in the same area. He used to be. I remember the first time I ever met him, and I already listened to him. He used to do this show on Saturday morning.
Yep, that's
and
right.
He would do that.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today?
And then he goes silent. And then he goes right back into it. So
a lot of pregnant pauses with him.
I live in Rye, so my daughter took my daughter to church every Sunday. And in order to bribe her, she's like 8 or 9 years old. I tell her, I want to stop at the deli. We're going to get a ham and egg sandwich when we get done. Oh, that's good, Dad. So you got to go back and order. And I'm in the back of the little deli, and I hear this. Where's the Boston? You got the Boston papers in here. Where are the Boston papers? And I hear that voice, and I go up there. I said, are you the Mad Dog? And he looks at me and says, oh, my God, you're Scott Shannon.
That's awesome.
So
that's very cool.
That's the first time I ever met him. And then I was at the Hall of Fame when he was inducted, and he was absolutely amazing. How the hell does he remember all those dates?
Yeah.
Boomer, you can't do that.
I can't do that, but then again, I have an excuse for that. I played football those years.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Right, so I don't
the
remember
protocol.
quite as much. So I was going to ask you, so you were 8.5 years here at WCBS, and I was reading one of the articles about you leaving and how you were talking about getting up at 3:15 every morning. So prior to CBS, you were getting up early in the morning anyway, weren't you? I mean, on the other stations as well.
Yeah, I always get up early in the morning. I wasn't always a morning guy, and because I was kind of insecure because I really don't have much education. And in my vocabulary is shallow at best. So I realize if you're going to be on the morning show, you got to ad-lib a little bit. So that takes time to train yourself to be able to speak in an intelligent manner, I think. When I was on the air before, Super Shan, your leader on the radio, the fastest mouth in the South. I only said about 6 words.
Right.
Over and over. And that's how I first got started. And then I realized, well, if you're going to make any money in this business, you better do the morning show. You realize that, right?
Well, yeah, sure.
It works that way, right?
Of course. I mean,
you're making a lot more money than you made when you were wobbling around here bugging people, right?
That is
wobbling around. I like that. That's a good description of it.
100%. So during the heyday of Z100, and I watched the documentary, and you were great in that documentary. Did you, while that was happening, did you understand the impact of that time in music radio in New York City? Or
I had no clue.
Huh.
You know, you're in the moment. And you don't think about it, you know? I mean, 1 minute I'm just, you know, I'm a DJ from Tampa, and I'm, the first time you saw it in the movie, the first time I got any press, this guy wrote about me in the Daily News. He said, "Oh man, this guy wrote about me in the paper. I can't wait to see it." And he said, "There's a new DJ in town. His name is Scott Shannon, and I hope the hell he's got a round tip ticket back to Tampa because he's horrible."
Wow.
And I mean, he ripped me apart. Yeah. And my wife read it before I got home. She says, crying. She said, "What are we going to do?" I said, "Well, he's a writer. Leave him alone. That's not the ratings. Right. I don't have to worry about that."
That's true.
And you know, I really didn't know New York, and I was kind of afraid. You know, I looked at the buildings and all that. You saw the movie when I was coming in with my wife, and she'd been here before. She's worldly.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
How I got her, I don't know. But so we're coming in from the airport, and I'm looking, oh, my God, look at that skyline. I'm going to be talking to those people. That's New York. And she said, "No, that's Newark."
It's so funny. It's a great line.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen that movie, the Z100, the glory days, whatever the tagline is, it's the Z100.
Worst to first.
Worst to first. That's right.
We're going to give it a plug.
Worst to first. Yeah, I figured I was hoping. I was like, Scott, please jump in and give me the name of this, but I didn't want to ask you.
You know what I've noticed about you guys? When you first started, you were very kind of quiet. He ran the show. Yeah. Now he's lucky to get a word in edgewise.
Thank you very much for recognizing that.
Sometimes, because I listen to you guys on the way home,
and
I think sometimes I said, I guess Boomer's out for the hour. Maybe he's downstairs talking to people, or
no, I'm over here sleeping. Actually, I'm bored,
and it's like your show.
Well, but let's face it. You know, you have to understand. I work with what I term them as NARPs, the non-athletic regular people,
right?
And these guys take that hour just to dump on me and to get all of their aggression out on me.
Super Bowl stuff?
Yeah, whatever. It could be Super Bowl stuff, could be an interception, could be an injury that I suffered, could be something I said stupid on TV somewhere along the line. And they just all take shots at me, Scott. So I just have to sit here and just take it.
And in the very beginning, Boomer didn't trust me at all. So anytime I started to talk, he would take a phone call on top of me. So that's what would happen in our first 6 months. I'd be like, you know, Boomer, what I was thinking about, Ted Newark, go ahead. And I'm like... Wait a second. Why am I even here?
He's trying to keep it rolling. You understand?
My point is that I just want to see how he was going to handle it. See whether or not he was going to push back or not.
Yeah, and we pushed back, and we're here.
We pushed back, and we're here, and what do you know?
Gio, what happened? What was it like the first 6 months when you were in here working with a legend?
I was scared to death.
I mean, did you ever have a bad day? You go home and you tell your wife, "Oh, Jesus, I don't know if they may fire me."
Well, yes, not after I got the job, because Boomer was so supportive of me once I got the job. But prior, those days that we worked together leading up to the decision being made, that was the most stressful. And the first, of course, the first show we did together was right after Donald Trump called the athletes a-holes or whatever. And then the NFL started kneeling. And I'm sitting here in this political...
I think he called them sons of bitches.
Sons of bitches, that's right. Yeah, sons of bitches. And then we're sitting here in this political firestorm. And I'm like, this is not what I'm supposed to do. Like, I'm supposed to do the Mad Dog impersonation, a fart joke, and go home. Like, now I'm stuck in this thing and no one's going to know who I am. And I remember going out to, the beach that day, just sitting there by myself and going, all right, you can do it. You can do it. Go back. You do it next day. But yeah, I was scared to death then. But no,
and now you don't give a rat's ass. You just sit there. there and pontificate.
No, I do. I mean, I definitely give a rat's ass still. I mean, you just said it.
No, but you're comfortable.
More comfortable, yes.
Yeah.
But everybody's insecure in this business. You said it yourself. Everybody is.
You know what I like? My favorite thing is when you get these people, that Joe from the basement or something. And let me tell you, Boomer, about how to rate a quarterback. Wait a minute. You've been on the radio so long, they forget you actually played the game.
Yeah.
And this idiot from his basement's calling and telling you why Jones sucks or whatever.
Whatever. I mean, it is what it is.
And
Scott,
you're very patient with him, though.
Well, there are listeners. You have to be patient. It's okay. Everybody has an opinion. Doesn't insult me. Doesn't worry about. I don't worry about it. Once I walk out. One thing I learned from Craig Carton was once you walk out of that past that door out of the studio, whatever was said, it was said. It's out there.
It's too late.
There's really nothing you can do about it.
He doesn't care, does he?
Oh, hell no, he doesn't care. Yeah, but you cared, and obviously you do, and you still care because you're still working. You're not actually shutting it all down now.
Well, I don't know. I got a little Tom Brady in me. But I'm watching him. I go like this. Oh shit!
Whoa!
Just let it go.
I'm watching him, and I go. Oh crap!
Yeah.
Well, what happens if I go back and I suck?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to lose your fastball, that's for sure.
You know that he's going through hell right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he must just go home. He doesn't have his wife, he's home by himself there,
Well, he's, I as I understand it, I think he's living in Tampa, and I think they're living in Miami. But, obviously for him to get on a private jet to go over to Miami, it's like you and me driving up to Westchester. There's no problem. But yeah, he's got to get through the season and figure out what he wants to do next year. If he wants to play, or if he wants to start accepting the money from Fox, $375 million they've given him for 10 years.
That's a pretty good alternative, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a great alternative.
Yeah,
you didn't have that situation when you.
Well, I kind of did, but
then Al Michaels stabbed him in the back. Remember that?
Yes.
No, I kind of did have, but I didn't have it at that number. That number is ridiculous.
That's a good number. Can you imagine these baseball players who played pretty well in their day, and they're looking at these guys now? What are they looking at? The first $1 billion deal coming up?
Well, I don't know about that.
How about this guy? Think about when he was playing, when Phil Simms was playing, and they talk about it all the time, and now you get guys that are making $40-50 million a year.
Phil's a little bit older than me, so he even made less money than I did. But twice in my career, I had signed my contract, and the day that I signed my contract, I was the highest paid player in the league.
Wow.
And then it got leapfrogged by, 7 or 8 or 9 guys after me that signed their new contracts. But the biggest contract that I had signed, the initial contract, was $1.2 million a year.
Woo!
Which was a lot of money back then. And that was when I was the highest paid player in the NFL in 1987.
The third stringers get that now.
Yeah,
and more. Yes. Well, good for them. It's one of the things we fought for back in '87 during the strike.
And we're talking to Scott Shannon here on Boomer and Gio, hanging out with him as
that's a part of you. See, that's a new deal that you took over for a while. He used to have to do that.
Yeah.
Well, let him do it. He's the mechanic now.
I like that though.
He's the mechanic. I like it too.
So if you want to hang, I don't know what's your time schedule here. Do you want to just chill?
I'll do. Yeah,
hang for another segment with us.
All right, so we will do that in just a second. But I know you got
a lot of commercials to do. Hey, here he comes. He's handing the commercials out. You want me to read one for you over here?
Yes, that actually.
You got your 12 endorsements.
Give him this one.
Okay. You got your 12 endorsements ready to go.
That's ELEC.
Yeah, right. Have fun with that one. But when you're at this point of your career, and then there's accolades, and they're giving you the studio dedication upstairs and all of that stuff. Right. Like, are you eating that up, or is it sort of like, all right, guys, enough of the praise?
I mean, I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those kind of guys. If I go to a concert, a really good concert, like I go see McCartney or something, and it's a really great performance, I tear up.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. I feel like a wussy about it.
Yeah.
But I cry easily.
You're a mush.
Yeah, a mush.
You're a mush, yeah.
Yeah. And
I tell you're a mush.
And somebody calls up and they'll start talking to me and, oh yeah, you saved me, and you come in, and it's touching. You guys see it.
Sure.
I was watching the video of that big boat party you had.
Oh, yeah.
I felt bad for that country station. What the hell? They were there, too.
They were great people. Great
right.
Kelly. And
but they were all around you. They were all looking at you. Everybody come around. She's over there by the table by herself.
Right.
Thing.
And then Olive tied cement shoes to him and threw him in the Great South Bay right after that. So, and now we have a hip-hop station. So, anyway, you want to read a commercial?
Oh, yeah.
Those are our good friends, Elec, by the way, there, Scott. I'm sure they'll love hearing you.
Now, are you connected with these people?
Yeah.
They're friends of yours?
Yes.
Because I know you do. Whatever they give you, you do it.
That's exactly right.
I mean, I buy my car over there. I go over here. You do everything.
100%, man. Yeah. I'm not reading something that I'm not participating in myself.
I like that.
Yeah, the only category he's not in is like the dildo category. That's the only thing that he's not endorsing at this point.
So all right, that's interesting.
Well, now see,
everything else.
There's an opening. If you're listening and you need a guy to be your spokesperson, he's your guy.
100%, the best in the business. Damn right.
Not me, Eli Manning.